What if I told you that a community with no electricity has been quietly solving one of modern life's biggest problems for over 300 years? While we're throwing away $1,500 worth of food per family every year and stressing about grocery bills that seem to climb higher each month, the Amish have been preserving fresh food for months, even years, using nothing but salt, water, and techniques so simple a child could master them. Here's the kicker. These aren't just survival methods. The Amish have created foods that are more nutritious, more flavorful, and safer than anything sitting in your refrigerator right now. We're talking about turning a $2 bag of cabbage into 12 jars of probiotic-rich sauerkraut that would cost you $60 at the health food store. Or preserving an entire season's harvest of tomatoes using nothing but boiling water in glass jars, no freezer space required, no electricity bills, no panic when the power goes out. But here's what nobody talks about. While we've been convinced that food preservation requires expensive equipment, chemical preservatives, and scientific precision, the Amish prove that our great-grandmothers had it right all along. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 game-changing preservation methods that will slash your grocery bills, eliminate food waste, and give you the confidence to feed your family real, wholesome food, no matter what's happening in the world around you. And the best part? You probably already have everything you need sitting in your kitchen right now. So if you're tired of watching money rot in your refrigerator, or if you've ever wondered how people fed their families before industrial agriculture took over, stay with me. Because what you're about to learn will change the way you think about food forever. Salt preservation. Ancient Amish wisdom made simple. Salt preservation might sound intimidating, but it's beautifully straightforward once you understand the science behind this ancient technique. When you cover meat with salt, you're not just seasoning, you're creating an environment where harmful bacteria simply cannot survive, while beneficial changes transform both safety and flavor. The salt draws moisture from the meat while penetrating deeply, essentially turning fresh meat into something that improves with time rather than spoiling. What's remarkable is how this process actually enhances flavors, creating complexity that modern preservation methods can't match. The Amish approach strips away all complexity, focusing on 3 simple requirements: quality meat, pure salt without additives, iodine and anti-caking agents interfere with the process, and a large container where meat can lie flat without touching sides. The beauty lies in the simplicity. No precise measurements, no complicated timing, just nature doing what it does best when given the right conditions. The salt preservation process, step by step. Let me guide you through this surprisingly simple process that the Amish have used to preserve meat for thousands of years. Start with the freshest, highest quality meat you can find. This foundation determines your success. Your container should be large enough for meat to lie flat, with extra space around the edges. Here's where the Amish wisdom shines. Instead of measuring salt precisely, simply cover every surface of the meat completely. Give it a generous salt shower, and whatever sticks naturally is exactly what you need. Place the salted meat on a cooling rack inside your container. This elevation is crucial because salt will draw moisture out, and you don't want meat sitting in its own brine. Refrigerate for about 5 days, watching for the liquid seepage to slow down or stop completely. The meat will transform dramatically, becoming firm and rigid like a well-done steak that's cooled. When moisture stops pooling, you're ready for the next phase of this ancient preservation art, finishing your salt-preserved meat. After those patient 5 days of salt curing, you'll witness an amazing transformation in your meat's texture and appearance. What started as soft, pliable flesh should now feel notably firm and dense, almost like hardwood, solid, but not completely inflexible. This firmness indicates that salt has penetrated deeply and completed its preservation work. Now comes what might seem counterintuitive, thoroughly rinsing off all that carefully applied salt with cool, clean water. Don't worry, you're not washing away the salt that's already penetrated the meat, just removing excess surface salt that could make your final product too salty to enjoy. Pat the meat completely dry with non-linty towels, paying careful attention to every surface. Create a small hole near one edge for hanging, ideally through a section of fat if present. Hang your meat in a dark location, maintaining 50 to 60 degrees with good air circulation for at least 5 days. The final product should have uniformly firm texture and rich, deep color throughout. Understanding water bath canning science. Tried and tested for many years by the Amish. Let me walk you through why water bath canning has been feeding Amish families for generations. When you submerge those sealed jars in boiling water, you're creating a perfect storm against spoilage. The intense heat kills harmful bacteria while simultaneously pushing air out of your jars. As they cool naturally, physics takes over, creating that satisfying vacuum seal that keeps your food fresh for months. Here's what's fascinating. This method works best with high-acid foods like tomatoes, berries, and properly pickled vegetables, because acidity acts as your secret weapon against bacteria. The Amish discovered long ago that you can't just preserve everything this way. Nature has rules, and following them ensures your family's safety while creating incredibly flavorful preserved foods that often taste better than fresh. Essential water bath canning equipment. Don't let equipment anxiety stop you from starting your preservation journey. The Amish have found that most of what you need is probably hiding in your kitchen right now. You'll need a large, deep pot. Any stock pot works. A canning rack or simple folded towel, jar lifters that act like heavy-duty tongs, and a wide-mouth funnel to prevent spills. The real stars are proper canning jars with 2-piece lids. Never use recycled mayonnaise jars, as they're not designed for the heat and pressure. The Amish philosophy shines here. Fancy doesn't mean better. Their great-grandmothers used the same basic tools we use today. What matters is functionality and safety, not brand names or expensive gadgets. Gather some clean dish towels, a sturdy ladle, and a plastic spatula for removing air bubbles, and you're ready to start your preservation adventure. Mastering the preparation phase. This is where patience pays off tremendously, and rushing here often leads to heartbreak later. Start by washing your jars in hot, soapy water. Even if they look spotless, invisible residue can prevent proper sealing. Next comes sterilization. Submerge those clean jars in water and boil for 10 minutes, keeping them hot until you're ready to fill them. Temperature shock can crack glass, so maintain steady heat throughout. Your lids need special attention too. Place them in very hot but not boiling water to soften the sealing compound without damage. While everything's heating, fill your canning pot halfway and start warming it. The Amish secret is timing. You want hot water ready when your filled jars arrive, not a nerve-wracking wait while prepared food sits cooling. Arrange your workspace logically with tools within arm's reach. Scrambling for equipment with hot jars waiting is both dangerous and stressful. The critical filling and processing steps. Now we reach the heart of successful Amish canning, where attention to detail transforms ordinary ingredients into preserved treasures. Remove your hot jars carefully, keeping them upright to prevent contamination, and place them on clean towels, never cold counters that could crack the glass. For pickles, add your aromatics first: crushed garlic, dill seeds, maybe some red pepper flakes for heat. These flavors will infuse and develop over time, creating complexity you simply can't rush. Fill each jar using your wide-mouth funnel, maintaining proper headspace, typically 1/4 inch for jams, 1/2 inch for vegetables. Here's a step many skip: removing air bubbles with a plastic spatula, sliding it between food and jar sides. You'll be amazed how many bubbles rise up. Wipe jar rims meticulously with a damp cloth, apply lids carefully, and screw bands finger tight, just until you feel resistance, then a 1/4 turn more. Processing time and cooling wisdom. Lower your filled jars into the hot water bath carefully, ensuring they don't touch each other or the pot sides. The water should cover jars by at least 1 inch. Add more boiling water if needed. Here's where Amish precision matters most. Start timing only when water reaches a full rolling boil, and maintain that boil throughout processing. Different foods need different durations. Pickles might need 10 minutes, while strawberry jam requires 15. When your timer sounds, resist the immediate removal urge. The Amish learned that gradual cooling prevents liquid loss and improves sealing success. Turn off heat and let jars rest in hot water for 5 minutes. This patience prevents siphoning, that frustrating problem where liquid gets sucked out of jars. Lift jars straight up and level, letting water drip off lids rather than into the ceiling area. Place on thick towels in a draft-free spot with space between jars for air circulation. Fermentation, nature's nutritional transformation. Welcome to one of nature's most fascinating processes, where ordinary vegetables transform into nutritional powerhouses that can last months without refrigeration. Fermentation isn't just preservation, it's nutritional enhancement. Those beneficial bacteria convert natural vegetable sugars into lactic acid, which acts as a natural preservative while creating those distinctive tangy flavors we love. Here's what's truly remarkable. This process actually makes food more nutritious by creating vitamins and probiotics that support gut health while breaking down compounds that make raw vegetables hard to digest. The science is elegantly simple. You're creating perfect conditions for good bacteria to thrive while deterring harmful ones. Temperature matters enormously. Aim for 65 to 72 degrees, warm enough for beneficial bacteria, but cool enough to prevent unwanted growth. Salt plays a crucial role too, creating the ideal environment for your helpful bacterial allies. From cabbage becoming sauerkraut to cucumbers transforming into pickles, fermentation turns ordinary garden vegetables into extraordinary preserved foods. Mastering fermentation setup and success indicators. Setting up successful fermentation is surprisingly straightforward when you understand what you're creating. A controlled environment where beneficial bacteria can transform your vegetables into preserved treasures. You'll need wide-mouth mason jars or traditional fermentation crocks, pure salt without additives, 3 tablespoons per 5 pounds of vegetables, unchlorinated water, and weights to keep vegetables submerged. Pack vegetables in layers, pressing firmly with each addition, then cover with properly salted brine. The Amish cabbage leaf method works brilliantly. Use clean outer leaves as natural barriers between vegetables and brine surface. Monitor daily by burping sealed containers to release carbon dioxide buildup. You'll know fermentation is working when bubbles appear within 24 to 48 hours, accompanied by pleasant sour aromas and cloudy brine. After 5 days, start tasting daily. You're looking for tangy flavor without residual sweetness. White yeast on the surface is normal and can be skimmed off, but fuzzy-colored growth means starting over.